thousands of U.S. troops mobilized in the Caribbean. Elite night-flying helicopter teams hovering just off a neighboring country's coast. Heavy strategic bombers thunder overhead. Meanwhile, warships patrol the sea, and all of it very close to Venezuela. Why? Because right now, the U.S. appears to be readying for a major operation, and that matters. Stay with me, because what we're seeing could reshape global theater, and your world far more than you might think. What's happening in the Caribbean today is not just another military maneuver. For the first time in years, the United States has concentrated a massive force right on the doorstep of South America. It's the kind of move that makes every government in the region quietly nervous, and every analyst pay attention. The deployment includes around 10,000 U.S. soldiers spread across ships and bases in the Caribbean. Among them are members of the 161st Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the famous Night Stalkers. They're the ones who fly the missions nobody else can. They specialize in night operations, flying low, fast, and silent. Their helicopters move like ghosts, hugging the waves, vanishing behind terrain, appearing only where they need to be, then disappearing again. When the Night Stalkers arrive in a region, it usually means preparation for something precise, coordinated, and possibly imminent. Reports suggest their aircraft have been seen moving between naval platforms and temporary landing zones on small Caribbean islands. These are not random flights. They're rehearsals, tests, and readiness checks. Each flight sharpens the timing, the coordination, and the familiarity with the terrain. If an operation were to begin, these are the pilots who would be first in, and often the last to leave. Now, while the helicopters skim the water, something else moves high above the clouds. The B-52 Stratofortress, one of the most powerful bombers ever built. It's not just an aircraft, it's a message with wings. When a B-52 takes to the air, it tells the world that the United States is watching and ready. These planes can fly for thousands of kilometers without refueling, carrying heavy payloads of precision weapons. They don't need to attack to make a point. Their presence alone changes the game. So why send them to the Caribbean? Because visibility matters. Each flight near Venezuela is a reminder that US air power can reach anywhere, anytime. It's also psychological. B-52s are symbols of endurance, of overwhelming capability. They date back to the Cold War, but they remain the backbone of America's long-range force. Seeing them in this region, combined with the deployment of special operations helicopters, signals that the US is not only monitoring the area, it's positioning itself for decisive action if it ever becomes necessary. But the sea tells another story. In these waters, the US Navy has moved in force. Among the vessels reportedly operating near the region are the Jason Dunham, a guided missile destroyer equipped with advanced radar and long-range defense systems, the Baton, an amphibious assault ship that can launch helicopters and Marines directly from its deck, and smaller vessels that specialize in surveillance and electronic warfare. Together, they form a network, a floating command grid that can respond instantly to any order. The Navy's presence isn't just about showing the flag. It's about controlling movement, protecting sea lanes, and creating launch points for air operations. Every destroyer carries hundreds of sailors and advanced missile systems. Every amphibious ship can transport troops, vehicles, and aircraft. These are not symbolic ships. These are platforms for real missions. Observers in nearby islands say they've noticed more lights on the horizon at night, ships that weren't there a few weeks ago. Local fishermen report hearing constant low vibrations from engines running far offshore. And when radar systems from Venezuela pick up unidentified aircraft or electronic signals, it's often from these same ships, constantly monitoring, mapping, and maintaining presence. Imagine the scale of coordination. Helicopters lifting off from ship decks, bombers crossing overhead, drones feeding live data to command centers hundreds of miles away. That's what the modern US military looks like when it mobilizes near a region. Layers of capability, all synchronized, all waiting. Why all of this now? Officially, the mission is described as a security measure to counter illegal activity in the region and to protect stability in the hemisphere. But unofficially, many see a different layer. The timing aligns with growing political tensions between Washington and Caracas. The US has made no secret of its concern over the situation inside Venezuela, and this deployment sends a clear message. Pressure is back on the table. For people living in the islands nearby, the atmosphere feels different. Locals report seeing more aircraft flying at night, more ships on the horizon, and hearing more low rumbles from engines that never stop. It's a quiet kind of tension. No explosions, no open conflict, but a constant reminder that something big could be one order away. The truth is, operations of this scale rarely appear without a reason. When 10,000 troops are deployed, when the night stalkers are moved into position, when bombers and destroyers converge in the same region, it means preparation is underway for every possible scenario. Whether it's deterrence, intelligence gathering, or something yet to be announced, the posture is real and it's deliberate. So, what does it mean for us? It means that the center of global attention is shifting again. For decades, the big moves happened far away: the Middle East, Eastern Europe, Asia. But now, the stage is closer. The Caribbean is becoming one of the most watched, most sensitive regions on Earth. The US is reestablishing its dominance in the hemisphere, reminding everyone that its reach still extends across every ocean and every sky. And Venezuela is standing in the middle of that demonstration. If history tells us anything, it's that major deployments like this are rarely wasted effort. They prepare the ground for whatever comes next, be it diplomacy, deterrence, or direct action. The presence of the Night Stalkers, the hum of the Navy, the shadow of the B-52s, these are not random coincidences. They're pieces of a larger design. So, as the world watches, one question remains. Is this just a show of strength, or the prelude to something larger? Whatever the answer is, one thing's certain: the Caribbean tonight is not calm, it's awake, and the game has just changed. Thanks for watching until the end. If you found this video informative, take a second to leave a like. It helps a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next update. We'll keep following every new movement, every signal, and every clue in this developing story. Until then, stay sharp, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video.